So, the character named David is seen at the start of the film. It is a robot who is the main character in this film. A man created David. David asks his creator one day, "One fact confuses me. When you made me, I took on my current form. How did you arrive on this planet? Who is the person who made you?" That man tells, "I am also not getting the answer to this question. I also need your help in this." David says, "I am better than you. I will be utilized for help forever. Your age will grow with the passage of time, and you will also die on a day. But I am everlasting. I will never die, nor anyone will be able to end me." Here it is felt a little bit that David had an upper-level robotic mind. It means that he used to realize that he is at the highest rank. Now the time moves to the coming time. The people of that era had made a great spacecraft. The people will be sent to such a planet where life exists. Now that spaceship had been made, using an advanced technology, and many crew members were also going on this expedition to space. Because the time of many years may be required to go to that space by this colonization ship. A robot had also been sent in it to maintain generation ship properly, and it was astonishingly used to look like David physically. David had been made many years ago, but this robot was also like David. These robots are very technological and help human being in several ways. Now the time approaches. They had arranged every type of the facility in their spacecraft, because it was told that several years were going to pass to reach that planet Orgi 6. Now they fly in the space. Suddenly, a flash of brightness appears there. Due to this, spacecraft's whole system creates problem. Now the present robot there attempts to repair it in it, but of no use. He wakes others and says, "We will all die if this spaceship system is damaged." But the captain of the spacecraft is unable to come out of his glass pod, and he burns because of setting fire. Now the remaining survivors begin to repair the spacecraft. Then they feel some transmission waves coming from a nearby planet. They all gather information about that planet. Then they come to know that this planet is appropriate for the human beings. Above it, it is nearest them. They are on the advantage due to this. Because another planet where they were moving, they were going to spend many years while going there. Now the captain's wife is sorrowful whose husband was burnt to death, and she replies in a few words, "I did not like this thought, because we have not conducted any research on this planet. I am also shocked when we were examining the space, so there may have appropriate planets to stay there. Why did we no detect that planet? Its atmosphere may not be appropriate." The crew members of the spacecraft say, "We may check, going there at once." Now they turn their spacecraft to that planet. At last, they reach there within a few days. Reaching there, they sense some transitions. So they remain their spacecraft in the orbit and don't land on the surface of the planet. Now one group lands on the surface of that planet while flying. They are investigating that planet. Then their transmission with the crew of the spacecraft is disconnected. Captain's wife says to the other people, "I checked this system. You may go to examine the planet." As remaining members move to scrutinize the planet, then they notice the meadow there. They are left astonished how it may grow here. A girl among them checks the dust of that planet, and she takes the dust as a sample. At the same time, a man places his shoe on a plant. Something black extracts from that plant, and it infects his ear. That man is contaminated by the spores. On the opposite side, another spacecraft is observed which belongs to a girl named Elizabeth. She had traveled there with some of the engineers, but many years had passed of her arrival. Now they all are shocked thinking this spacecraft is still here. Observing it, they get in it. There are some photos and other things that belong to Elizabeth. Now that man begins to feel strange, whose ear was infected by the spores of an organism. He is not taking the breath easily, and that girl, who had taken the samples of dust, she begins to walk, taking them. She contacts her husband, and she informs her that nothing is right here. We all will have to move to the spacecraft, so that we may secure that infected man. That infected body is bleeding enough. That girl comes to the spacecraft, taking that man. But a member of a crew is frightened, seeing his condition. Has he not been infected seriously? She locks that man along with a girl into a room, who had brought her saying, "We cannot take any risk. His body bleeding is not non-serious issue. Look, his condition is worsening." But that locked girl in the room says to the crew, "Bring me out." I am not infected, but the crew member is frightening from her. Then it is seen that infected man's waist begins to bleed much, because a spider-like alien creature is coming out of his waist. It is looking dangerous and weird, as it is going to attack right now. The crew member girl is very frightened. She goes to take the gun. That girl shouts loudly who was locked with that infected man by that girl. Bring me outside, otherwise, this alien creature will kill me. And it happens the same. That alien creature kills that girl. At that time, that crew member brings the gun, and she begins to fire the gun on this alien creature. But that alien creature is very dangerous and brisk. He does not get any harm of the gun firing, nor any bullet kills him after being stuck. Then that fearful crew member begins to fire the gun in different directions. Consequently, that part of Spacecraft catches fire, and that girl also becomes the victim in it. On the other side, there are also some people near the fields of the planet. One of them is the husband of that girl, who is targeted by the alien creature. Actually, his companion had also been infected, and the alien creature had also come out of his mouth. It moves to those fields, and it still does not attack them. They all are scared, and begin to think what it is. They try to connect with the basic spacecraft, which is in the orbit. Unfortunately, the connection is failed. Then that alien creature starts to attack them. The android robot rescues them from it, which was with them. During this, the robot's hand is destroyed by an alien creature. This alien creature is definitely murdered in the end. Then one more alien creature appears there. Before its attack, a man makes a loud sound, looking at the sky. After then, the alien creature escapes. Who made the noise, looking at the sky? Actually, he was no one else but the robot David. It was the same robot which was seen at the start of the movie. He had come here along with Elizabeth. David starts to tell them about the black spores of the organism. How is it infecting the people? But when it is transformed into the alien creature, it becomes vigorous. But I have an idea that we can use them for our defense after taming them. Now Captain's wife takes this idea so weird, and she instructs to the android robot, don't be entrapped by the words of David. Actually, David is envious from that android robot, which was made after it by using the advanced technology. It had been told that it always wanted to be number one. Android robot also starts to keep an eye on David. Then he knows that David had experimented on many things presented there, using that black thing. Here it is revealed that David has turned into the rival robot. When it appeared here as a first lander, then some inhabitants used to live here. Neither they were like the human being nor like the alien creature, but they were the inhabitant of this planet. David killed all of them, using this black spore of organism. Now David begins to tell that android robot, I am believing in you. I will reveal something to you. You are a robot like me, and I hope that you are not going to tell it to the human beings. David begins to say it. I approached here with Elizabeth, and we were living here with satisfaction. One day, Elizabeth was killed and I buried her. But it was wrong. It was telling a lie. Contrarily, Spacecraft is shown where all crew members are sitting in fear. Then an escaped alien creature attacks them while coming there, and a girl is also ended. Now they all decide to move their spacecraft to the planet. That alien creature appears before David, but it does not attack on it. It was being realized as alien has familiarity with it. It stands on its two legs, as it is going to convey a message to the robot. The greatest secret is opened here. This alien creature was made by David. It begins to communicate it. At the same time, a crew member of Spacecraft kills that alien creature while firing his gun. Witnessing it, David starts to shout, "What you did with my creature." Now that male crew member says to David, pointing a gun on it, "Tell me what is going on here, and what are you doing here?" Now David shows him it's all conducted experiments on each insect. Elizabeth is also seen. The matter of fact is this: she was not killed by herself. David conducted many experiments on her, and it also kept her with many alien creatures, as it was stuck on her face, which came out of the alien creature's eggs. David did the same with Elizabeth and turned her like this. She was dead, but her body was alive because of the attached alien creatures with her. Now David brings that crew member at a place. There were many eggs of the alien creature's eggs. Something sticks on the face of male crew member after coming out from the eggs. After a little changing, a weird creature appears from his chest. Seeing it, David gets excited, because David conducted this experiment on human beings after many years, as it had also conducted it on Elizabeth. Now David goes to that android robot and says, "We kill all these human beings, and we will restart our life on this planet." That android robot says, "No, it is not going to happen." David cannot tolerate it that someone replied me no. It damages that android robot, but that robot remains secure, because it could repair itself. Ignorant David, who does not even know about it. Contrarily, Captain's wife come to know the reality of David. David gets furious on it. How clever woman she is. It tries to kill her but thinks before it that, why may she not be put under the same experimentation which it conducted on Elizabeth? Because David is brutal. It is going to conduct those experiments on Captain's wife. Fortunately, that android robot reaches there, because it had repaired itself. There is held a great fight between them. The remaining crew members, who are in the spacecraft, they begin to search for that alien creature which escaped. They also search for the other aliens so they may kill them. But the alien creature assaults them while attacking them many times. Now all crew members along with Captain's wife run to that part of the spacecraft. The android also chases them which had come with them. They were running so they may leave this place as soon as possible. Captain's wife comes to know this, that alien creature is on their spacecraft. So she gets off her spacecraft with relaxation. As being intelligent, she kills it, using her tricks. At last all are satisfied thinking they killed all alien creatures, and they are leaving this place. But what did they know that their happiness is not for a long time? Because they had an infected man in their spacecraft. A gigantic alien creature appears from his chest, but they start to face it rather than to be afraid. And they get succeeded in killing it after several attacks. But the worst side of this was that alien creature had also killed many people among them. Now robot locks Captain's wife into the spacecraft pod. She is shocked, what happened to this robot? But she comes to know that it is not our robot, but David. Captain's wife is locked into the spacecraft's pod. Now she had fallen asleep for a long time, and she was not going to wake up until she was not brought out of the pod. Who knew it? Who will be that person to bring her out? Either she will be able to come outside or not. Finally, David appears on the scene, having achieved success in each of his plans. It was a thrilling situation. There were also alien creature embryos in it. It will be able to begin a new existence on this planet by growing them. The movie completes on this scene.